Hey, fellow Trumpsters, conservatives, and people who are sick and tired of being sick and tired of the also tolerant left. I'm Stephanie. All right, so these are the days of our lives, right? Jeez, please hit that like, subscribe, and share button. All right, so whistleblower happens to have the same attorney counsel as Clinton. Isn't it funny how Obama, Clinton, and Biden are all together connected, and Ukraine and Russia and China, all these countries that Trump is literally up against by himself. You have Deep State, who sold all of our shit overseas, basically, made corrupt deals with other world leaders. Trump saying, no more of this shit, I'm bringing it back. So, Barr is investigating all these crimes that have really been committed. Okay? So, as a distraction, they have to give you this whistleblower Ukraine crap when really it was Biden who did it. Biden should face charges for what he did. He should. So should Clinton. But here's the irony in it. On mainstream, even on my Google feed, it's just trash against Trump and his administration and Pence and minimizing, not even speaking of the crimes that have really been found out. So who's helping who? And you know, they're trying to save themselves. And I bet anything Trump is a pretty understanding guy. And if they were like, Trump, look, we did some shit where we messed up. And Trump said, look, come clean. I'll let it slide, but look, get your shit together and let's work together for something better. Not creating a horrible civil war within our country because y'all assholes need to be in control of everything and you don't want to lose money in your nonprofits. You don't want to lose money in your overseas business shit. And I can't imagine like how many of these people go before Congress, right? It's they've become a congressional party of harassment. It's investigation after investigation. It's like harassment. Seriously, it's fucking harassment. And why isn't anybody calling out? Maybe we should rethink this whole Congress. And why don't we just shut them down for a little bit so we can get some real shit done around this world? Because with all these millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars that they spend on these investigations that are set up to frame Trump and to cover their fucking crimes are costing us money. Like, we could have real things being done in our country with that money. Like, better drinking water, better schools. Speaking of schools, 6-year-old girl gets arrested for assault after a tantrum. So I'm pretty sure I already know how this will go. She gets arrested and handcuffed. 6-year-old girl. The mom saying no, she has sleep apnea. Sleep apnea has nothing to do with tantrums. I'm sorry, it doesn't. It just doesn't. Okay, so that's a dumb excuse. That's not sleep apnea and tantrums have nothing to do with each other. So just stop. But here's where it gets interesting. So this kid gets arrested. Now the mom has to deal with court, CPS, child therapist. So again, this 6-year-old girl, just like hundreds and thousands of minor children, 6-year-old, 9-year-old kids in this country are already part of the system. Fuck indoctrinating them in schools now. Let's get them on probation. Let's get them in our system. Let us institutionalize these kids as young as we can. Take majority of the rights from the parents, and it's basically habeas corpus, like or habeas maximus corpus. You know what I mean? Excessive punishment for a misdemeanor for trespassing that an adult would basically get arrested for, go to jail, and be released the next day for time served. A young child in the backyard of someone's vacant house will get arrested. The parents have to pay for attorneys, probation. I mean, it's they are harder on kids for these tiny little things, and it's set up. These kids are part of the system already. And as a parent, what are you supposed to do? Your hands are tied, and you got the government threatening to take your kids unless you do what they say. That 6-year-old girl should have never been arrested. What people should be getting arrested for is like Greta, save the climate change shit with Ilhan Omar's daughter, tyranny communist assholes. But parents can, and schools can allow young children to protest, walk out of school. Parents have their kids laying down in supermarket floors or in other shopping centers pretending to be dead for protest. This gotta stop because you know what? When you people are out protesting things, other people have real jobs and things they're trying to get done. So you are more of the problem and creating the problem than doing anything good. Because all you're creating is more mistrust, misinformation, you're not being honest, and you're putting your kids in it. No kid should be out protesting with their parent. That's common sense. Okay? And no 6-year-old should get arrested for a tantrum. Just like no parent should be afraid of their own kids because y'all have made it to where kids can't even be disciplined anymore because it's cruel, so mean, but yet you lock our kids up and put them in jails and probation as young as 6, 8, 9, 10. You should. And all the anti-vaxxers out there being assaulted and attacked. And you know what? You know what I find very interesting? That people want to keep talking about healthcare and all that, but I don't see any real solution for it because Pelosi, she can't even get off the impeachment. So just going to the dentist, you know, costs money. If you can't afford your dental work, don't worry, they have a credit card for that. Another thing that bothers me is all of these medical care credit cards for, you know, people who go get Botox and fillers and all that. So you're going to charge fillers and Botox that you can't afford. If you can't afford the, what? I think my Botox and shit, like, anyway. If you do not have that money and you can't afford it, don't finance it. Because the interest rates on these things are insane. So people are in debt. People can't afford to live. People can't afford school education. Well, Obama took over the education system and put it in control of the federal government. And just like with the care credit cards, they go on these college campuses, give out credit cards to kids who have no jobs, are barely freshmen in college, and they know their parents, even though these companies know their parents are supporting them, but because they are going to be, you know, get a master's in liberal arts, they'll give them credit lines. Then they go and charge them all up. They walk out of college with so much debt, and nobody's really teaching these kids, like, the basics. But, you know, student loan debt, price of schools and all that has nothing to do with Trump, has nothing to do with the cost of living. It's bureaucrats. They're running shit. They're pocketing it. Majority of all these schools they support are nonprofit, liberal, democratic run schools. But nobody pays attention to that. Why? When you read a poll, find out the source of the poll, where the information comes from, how old the kids are, and Jennifer Lawrence. I'm going to take a year off because I'm not going to do anything political. I'm just going to go talk about the climate. George Clooney. He was seen on a little boat with Obama in Venice, or yeah, I think it was Venice. All right. These people donate and come up with millions and millions of dollars to combat climate change. Why not help combat the homelessness and drug epidemics and, you know, the insane amount of cost to live in your states? You're raising all this money for what? For a topic that you're hoping will help you win an election you're not going to because nobody wants your criminal asses in charge of us. My God. Oh. All right, guys. Well, I'm out. Be safe. There's a lot of crazy Democrats out there. Let's be real. They're multiplying. There's just like that outbreak of herpes that nobody can control, like a new disease that's out there that we haven't found a way to calm it down. I don't know, guys. You know what? And Trump is our president. He doesn't have to say, Mother, may I, every time, Miss Pelosi. Sit your old creepy butt down. You're not the president. Clinton's not the president. Obama's not the president. Trump is your president. He doesn't have to answer to you people. So do something with your political career that isn't going to make you look like an evil person 20, 30 years from now when you're actually in the history books for your corruption. Please like, subscribe, share. Bye, guys.